We welcome you to episode number 14 of the No Stop podcast. The first one in a month. I know I put in the in the title of last episode, we're back. Yeah, that was a month and a day ago. So we are officially back. I'm Chris Duffy, joined by Arius Colson and Joseph Reverso, and this is our Giants free agency special. And oh my goodness, does it get any more special than we finally got a quarterback
Yay.
Dude,
who's going to throw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. Okay, end of the season. We're going to go
What a
0
free
17. It's
agency,
not going
though.
to do anything.
Had
dude,
us all waiting for so long.
Yeah,
we're
6 years.
back. We're
We're
back.
back. Hey, Darius, I won't say we're back because have you seen the
Hey,
schedule? Have you
dude,
seen the schedule?
with Jameis as our quarterback, nothing is stopping us, bro. Nothing is stopping us.
We may
Really?
have
Even
random
that schedule.
upsets on like any given
I
Sunday.
feel like we
Yeah,
can.
possibly.
I
Yeah,
feel like we
no.
can.
Because we finally have a quarterback out, the best quarterback we've had since Eli Manning. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
Eli
definitely.
Manning. It's been
Yeah.
6 freaking years since we've had a serviceable quarterback in the National Football League. And Jameis Winston, he honestly, there were those conversations about Russell Wilson, A-Rod, and Jameis Winston as a possible third option. And Jameis Winston, I believe, is probably the best option just because he was the younger of the three. He's
Yeah.
still only 31. He still has 5 to 10 more years left in the league. And he does need to improve on the turnovers, but once he does that, oh my, he's a top five quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, at least we
Ooh,
have a quarterback
that's
who's not scared to
bold.
throw deep. Yes,
That's bold.
that's a very hot take.
Bro, I feel like with this signing, um, I feel like he's the perfect bridge quarterback.
Yeah. Yep.
Obviously, he'll start. Um, even if we do draft a quarterback, I
Yep.
feel like he definitely will start. Kind of like the Viking situation that they had going on before McCarthy obviously got hurt.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah, I feel like James is a perfect bridge quarterback. Obviously proven he could provide in big games when you need him to.
Yeah, I think the Giants though will draft a quarterback. Obviously, the
Yeah,
conversation is Cam Ward gonna fall? And if not, will Shador fall? It's really a
nice.
two man NFL draft for the Giants right now. And if they have to draft Travis Hunter, then it's not going to be great because Jackson Dart may not fall to them in the second round. And then who's next? Jalen Milrow
No.
does not appeal. I hate to break it to you. He had one great season, and then after that,
Yeah, it's hard
garbage.
because we don't
So,
know.
but Jameis Winston is really like a guy who can serve as that role model because he's been through ups and downs and ups over
Yeah.
and over again in his career. Obviously, with the Bucks, he was not great, and then he went to where was it? New Orleans
Yeah.
Saints.
as the backup, and then Browns, and now here he is in New York, and ooh, I just can't wait to see what he does with this team because he has Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is not going to be complaining for not getting targets.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
who cares if Jameis Winston has 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions? Malik Neighbors could go off for 2,000 receiving yards.
True.
he should be a first round fantasy pick then. But Jameis Winston hasn't had a bad career so far. He was pretty good on the Bucks despite his interceptions. He went to
Yeah.
the Saints in 2021 and started off with a 5-2 record before he got hurt.
Yeah.
And then after that was a backup to Derek Carr. Went to Cleveland, had that monster game against Denver. So I
Hmm.
still obviously have faith in him, especially since he's only 31 years old compared
Yeah.
to A-Rod and Russ, who are obviously washed up. I'm just excited to see what happens, but we're in
Yeah.
a hard spot because we only have James and DeVito, and
Yeah.
we don't know how much Jackson Dart's going to fall if we draft Travis Hunter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and last year, PFF, I'm looking at it right now, had Jameis Winston. Keep in mind there's 32 teams in the NFL. He was second last in the NFL, 31st out of 75 quarterbacks. So he was the last like good starting caliber quarterback in the league. But at the same time, I mean, he ranked 26th in passing yards with 2121, 2,121 yards, and then 13 passing touchdowns. I mean, he can get it done on any given day. You saw it this year. You saw it against the who was it? The Broncos? Yeah, it was the
Yeah.
Broncos. Threw for 400 yards. When was the
And he only
last
played
time?
like half the year.
You know when the last time a Giants quarterback got close to 400 yards in a game was?
One.
Daniel Jones back in 2021.
Nope.
I
Y.A. Tittle. Y.A. Tittle.
Wait, you said 400 yards in a
400
single
passing
game?
yards. The last time that happened was
wow.
Y.A. Tittle.
In a single game
Yeah,
for the New York
And
Giants?
wait,
yeah.
Really?
and John, wait, are you sure about
I'm
that?
pretty
Eli never did that.
sure.
I swear, like, remember when we watched that Giants against Saints game, like in 2021?
Now
I just can't
I'm
remember.
looking
Daniel
it up
Jones
right
passed for like
now.
400 yards that game.
Nah, yeah, Eli has had
There's
like
no way
multiple
Eli
times.
never had a 400-yard game.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know about that.
Okay, no, what son of a bitch. Maybe it was 397 yards. The last time a quarterback threw for 397 yards was Y.A. Tittle, but the last time a New York Giants quarterback passed for 400 plus yards was on September 8th, 2013, when Eli Manning threw for 402 yards against the Dallas Cowboys.
And of course, it was against Cowboys.
Hmm.
Cowboys suck. What? But you know,
Good signing though.
it's a really great
Yeah.
signing, and
Only
you know
four
what?
million.
And you know what the Giants do, which honestly, I'm gonna be probably one of the first people to say it. I did not agree with the signing. Darius Slayton.
So we can sign Darius Slayton to a 3 year, $30+ million contract, but we can't sign Saquon to that type of contract.
Oh! Don't even get me started, Darius.
They
Cooper
must
Cup
have
would
had
have
way more
wanted
cap
that
space.
much
I don't
money.
know.
Cooper
Exactly.
Cup would have gotten somewhere near there too, but nope, nope.
Is it time for Joe Shane to go? I think I
He's on
would.
the hot seat.
Yeah, him and Dable have been on the hot seat, and the determining factor is the NFL draft. And
Is how the
Right,
honestly,
season
exactly.
goes post
That
draft. Yeah.
that is the main factor because
If he gets
yeah,
fired, it'll be during the season.
if we
yep,
don't draft a quarterback and Jameis, if we're riding with Jameis throughout the whole season next year, Dable's gone, and so is Shane.
he's yep,
Yeah.
yep,
So, you know, we have
yeah,
to draft a quarterback in this
Yeah,
yep,
draft.
we have to.
yeah,
Like,
and
especially Jameis can start week one. He's a great guy. He's a
yeah,
great guy to have in the locker room. He's a great mentor. But it would be great to have a quarterback develop. And if we can't draft one, then we're in trouble for the future.
Yep.
yeah. And you know what? If you just get rid of that Darius Slayton re-signing, you gotta really tip your cap to Joe Shane though. Great free agency for him. Great free
It
agency.
was.
It was
Because
good.
you
If you look
got
at
a
the
lot of depth.
roster,
You got depth. You got Greg
Yeah.
Van Roten back on the offensive line. You re-signed Aaron Stinney to the offensive line. You got wide receiver depth with Lil Jordan Humphrey and Zach Pascal. Now that's going to be a battle to watch for in training camp and in the preseason. Um, Whoever makes that, because you also have Amir Smith-Marset, who will probably be a return specialist. But the two other big names to come to the Giants, bolstering up that secondary,
Yep.
Javon Holland, a top safety in the free agency class, and cornerback Paulson Adebo, top cornerback in this class. And thank God Deontay Banks can play cornerback too now. Thank God and all that's holy, because he, if you're talking about a step back, he
Yeah.
stepped off of a cliff
Yeah.
because he was that bad. He was
Listen,
awful.
I was on the
Sophomore year.
Deontay Banks train for a while until this
he needs
season.
help.
Yeah.
So, dude, looking
Yeah.
at this defense, listen, I'm gonna say it. Top five defense next year. Top five
Oh,
defense
top,
next year.
top. Okay, you know what? I had my
Top
hot
five.
take
Definitely
about.
top 10,
I
but
had my top
Dude,
hot take about Jameis Winston, but top five? No, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, but you
listen,
lost because the Giants also lost key defensive players like Aziz
Aziz
Ujulari, but
Ujulari, yep.
they did get Chauncey Golston, who's been able to stay healthy for the
Right.
most part, and
Listen,
but then you lost Jason Pinnock, which is gonna really stink for the safety depth chart.
I mean, that's why
well,
we got Javon Holland.
right. While that's true, it's just if you think about the top defenses in the league, they're pivotal, like they're pivotal guys. They're aging. The thing about the
Yeah,
Giants, though,
Everyone's
what is
young.
it?
yeah,
Exactly. Everyone's
yeah,
young.
Everyone is on the
Drew
team.
Phillips coming off an amazing season.
yep,
Nugent coming off a great rookie season. Dude, we're in a position where
yeah.
this defense, if like they stay healthy and like this core
Yeah,
is like maintained,
yeah,
we're good.
yeah, and that's why Joe Shane said it best himself. We compete for today, but we build for tomorrow. Signing these younger guys is really what building for tomorrow or competing for tomorrow or whatever he said. I literally just said it, but he what he said was kind of confusing, but you got the gist. They're competing for tomorrow. They're
Right.
building for tomorrow. This is what the rebuild's all about. I think the only few guys who he signed over the age of, let's say, 26 or 28, Roy Robertson Harris, who is going to be a depth piece on the defensive line, and probably Jamie Gillen. I have to look at his age, but I'm pretty sure he's 30 or 31.
Yeah.
That's about it. Darius Slayton's still relatively young. He's got to improve though. And I think Jameis Winston will help with that. But other than that, like you signed two real like decent to elite
Oh,
secondary guys who are just 25. Their NFL careers basically just started. And now you have them on the Giants. It's the Big Apple, baby. And you know what? Big Blue Wrecking Crew, I think, is going to be back in full
Hey
effect.
man, I hope
I
so.
think. I really hope so.
I
I
still
mean,
have faith in Deontay Banks
yeah.
as
I
a
I mean,
do
I,
too,
rookie.
man.
I, I,
As a
I do
rookie,
too. I do too. He just has to like tweak stuff
when
because
Yeah.
he needs help. He
yeah,
needed help, and he got that when he
yeah,
was a rookie. He wasn't playing CB1. He wasn't covering AJ Brown, then CeeDee
yeah,
Lamb, and DK
Right.
Metcalf, then George Pickens. I mean, last year, look at all the receivers he had to guard because he was corner one,
yeah,
really not that much experience. As a rookie, he was a stud because he was playing corner two.
yeah,
Wasn't good at all. Showed lack of effort because he was corner one. Now that he has helped, he has a lot of stress off his shoulders, a lot of weight off his shoulders.
yeah,
Adebo has like 3 to 4 years under his belt already and is still
yeah,
young, still
yeah,
25.
yeah,
I love our secondary. Newman's
yeah,
going to be a star.
yeah,
Holland's going to be a star.
yeah,
Our three corners are going to be stars. I mean, and then you got the defensive line, which is top five in the league, maybe the best in the league.
yeah,
Okereke, I mean, just everyone on the defense is going
yeah,
to contribute.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
we could have a top five defense if everyone stays healthy. Just everyone has to stay healthy, and that's why Joe Sheen went for depth signings.
Yep. And that's why I think that if the Giants do not sign another quarterback or not sign, but draft a quarterback in this draft, just hit the eject button on Joe Shane because if you are given the job to find a quarterback, a young and good quarterback to be your franchise quarterback, and that's your job as Joe Shane is on the hot seat, and you can't do that, you're out of here. That is what John Mara wanted, and if John Mara doesn't want get what he get what oh my goodness, I can't speak. If John Mara doesn't get what he wants, so long, Joe. So long, Brian. But I think Brian is the best coach for a rebuilding team because he doesn't let anything slide. He really
Yeah.
doesn't. He tries to
Mhm.
like you saw it, like he would throw his clipboard sometimes at Daniel Jones. Like because Daniel Jones was that bad.
And
One good
like
year, but
It's like
we don't even
when's the
need Travis
last
Hunter.
time we've been this excited for a Giant season before the draft? Before the draft.
Probably like
2020
No,
um
like genuinely excited for a Giant season before the draft.
before the draft, are you talking about like also for a season? Like because
Yeah.
I was
So
gonna
probably like
say
after
I was gonna say
2022.
right after the 2022 season.
After
exactly.
we all thought we were gonna like just be a good team for a while.
Exactly. And look what happened.
And
So
look what happened.
with that, it's like as much as we're riding high with this Giants team currently, this draft is so crucial.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like having an opportunity to get these studs on our team, if we draft properly, bro,
Yep.
sky's the limit.
Yeah,
We
Like,
no.
don't even need Travis Hunter either. With signing
Yep.
Lil Jordan Humphrey and
exactly.
just the receivers and like keeping Amir Smith Marset Slayton, we don't need a receiver. Signing
Yep.
Paulson Adebo, having
Yep.
cornerback depth with like um Cordell Flott as CB4 even and Trey Hawkins. We don't need Travis Hunter that bad. We if anything, we could try to trade up for the first pick.
Yeah.
And also we traded Xavier McKinney for Javon Holland and a third round pick. So maybe we can use that third round pick to trade up to secure getting a quarterback.
Yeah.
If like if
Maybe,
you look at
maybe.
2022 or like just after the Daniel Jones signing, McKinney, that was bad that we lost him, but he benefited well with Green Bay, and we
Yep.
got Javon Holland and a third round pick out of it.
Yep.
Saquon, he wasn't gonna help us like
Yeah.
just go from 4
Tremendously,
to the
yeah.
playoffs. If we kept him, we probably would have went from like 6 wins to 7 wins or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's thriving in Philadelphia, and I
Well,
don't really mind it. It sucks to see, but if he was on
yeah.
our team, he would probably help us get like one more win. He wasn't
Yeah.
going to turn the franchise around. So I'm kind of over that,
Yeah.
and I think we have a great future ahead of us. Um,
Yeah.
just still stinks that we signed Daniel Jones to that deal, but I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's
I
really the
mean,
only mistake that Joe Shane's
yeah,
made.
no. And he's made up for it because if you look at the salary cap,
He has,
the Giants have a clean slate. They can
Yeah, they
they
do.
can go haywire the rest of this offseason with signing guys, but obviously he's not going to use all of that money to sign free agents because you still have to sign the rookies to
Yeah.
contracts. Because if you spend all of your money in free agency, you are screwed to the dome. Like you are so screwed because if you can't sign these rookies, then obviously they're not going to play. They're not going to
Right.
play if you can't sign them. But I have to say, what would you guys give this free agency, Joe Shane, like a tier?
like a grade.
Yeah,
B minus.
I would probably give it a B plus to an A minus.
yeah. Honestly,
I mean,
I'm,
who else could we have gotten?
yeah. I mean,
Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, they would just like ruin our
yeah,
culture. There would just be a bunch of drama surrounding.
yeah,
I'm
Yeah.
yeah.
glad we didn't get them, to be
Well,
I'm
honest.
only giving
They weren't
it.
going
a
to turn our
fraud,
franchise around.
a fraud. By the way, a fraud. Like you get Nathaniel Hackett fired. You get Devontae Adams traded. You want to get Alan Lazard, awful. You want to get what's his name? Randall Cobb, I think it was. Awful. Like you try to bring all these guys and look what happened. So
Yeah,
if Aaron Rodgers were to become a Giant,
dude.
bad things would happen.
Yeah,
Bad
New
Yeah.
things
York,
would
New
happen.
York would just split into two.
But
I really don't know why so many people wanted Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, no,
I've always been against that.
yeah. I mean, I would honestly, I'm sort of stuck in a limbo here between what you both said. Zary saying a B minus, you Joe saying a B plus to A minus. I'm probably like between somewhere in the B to A minus range, just because that one damn signing of Darius Slayton is what kind of ruins
Yeah.
it for me.
It was
He
an overpay
like
considering his past, but
no, not just an overpay, but like
still has potential.
you could have paid Saquon that money. You could have paid Cooper Kupp that money.
Right.
You could have paid a better wide receiver that money. Instead, you give it to Darius Slayton, who has unfortunately been the leading receiver for the Giants in the
Right.
2010s.
Yeah, and that's the reason, like one of the only reasons why I'm giving it a B
He's
minus
going to be in the
because
league.
knowing
Yeah.
where to spend money is
Yep.
pivotal for a professional NFL team.
Yeah.
And it's like looking at the depth chart, if like if we compare to other teams, like say just within our division, obviously, Commanders coming off a strong season,
Yep.
Cowboys, who are progressively getting worse. But
Because
it's just like
Jerry doesn't want to like do
Harry
anything.
sucks.
right, yeah, it's just looking at this roster, the level of competing I feel like we can do.
Yeah.
Joe mentioned the tough season, this tough schedule we have ahead. I just don't know how long we can compete with these teams.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, 2 years ago, we were kind of putting a spanking on the Washington Commanders, Washington football
Exactly.
team. And that's because they had not great quarterback play. Then they drafted Sam Howell. They got rid of that
Yep.
dude. I'm saying dude because he was that bad. Remember that interception he threw off his back
Yeah,
foot to Isaiah Simmons?
Isaiah Simmons.
Awful.
Yeah, Sam
Um,
was bad.
they got rid of
Also
him, and
talked
then they
about that one.
drafted what looks to be the best quarterback in the class of 2024.
Yeah.
So,
It's
like,
just
Shows that
that just
drafting a
shows
quarterback can change a franchise.
that just shows how exactly that just
And
shows
we have
how
a huge
you can do
opportunity
that.
to do it at the third pick. I don't know
Yep.
why we're
right.
waiting. I don't know why we're not going to take advantage of this opportunity and draft someone like Cam Moore because I
Yep.
truly think he'll be good in the NFL.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing, though.
Especially being mentored by Jameis Winston. Sorry.
Right.
But
No,
you can compare him to Jameis Winston. I could just see that.
I can see that too. But here's the thing:
Experience too.
Tennessee needs a quarterback. The Browns
Need a
needs
quarterback.
a quarterback because they have one that got severely overpaid, and then they have a guy whose hand size is so small that he can barely hold on to a football. Those are their two quarterbacks. So they may draft Shador, but Dion has made it
I hope they
clear.
draft Shador.
Dion has made it clear he wants Shador to go to the Giants because
Yeah, I hope not.
look
Listen,
look but look
Gotta
look
trade
at
up for the first round pick if we
but
really want.
honestly, I won't even mind Shador. I just want a a solid quarterback because the Giants just need young blood in the offense to run the offense.
I feel like the most best thing the Giants could do, and I know this is not on a lot of people's checklist, but if we're able to trade, we somehow keep three, but if we're able to trade, like I know this is really controversial, but say we trade Andrew Thomas, one of the best tackles in the
Oh,
league.
hey Zarius,
Listen,
you can just stop right. No,
no, no,
you
no,
can stop.
Duffy, hear
No,
me out.
no, no,
Duffy,
Zarius,
hear
you
And
can
me
you
out.
stop
said
right
most
there.
best, like
Duffy,
bro.
hear me out.
Zarius,
Hear me out.
you
Hear me
can
out. Hear me out.
stop right there.
Just
Zarius,
hear
don't
me out.
even,
Just
don't
hear
even,
me out.
no,
Here, let him
Zarius,
speak. Let him
don't even,
Think
speak.
about all right.
don't even,
Let him speak, bro.
don't even. No, you can stop speaking, Zarius. That's the best left tackle in the league. I don't want to hear
Duffy, I
anybody else say
understand that,
anything.
but listen, we have to make sacrifices. If we're able to get another pick within the lottery or within the first round, I feel like that's best case scenario for this Giants team. Because say we draft someone like Cam Ward or Shador Sanders at 3, say we trade for like 11 or 12, we get a pick down the line. That's still, a first round pick we can use to, just either expand our offense or defense. I think it's completely worth it. It's worth the risk because say, you draft the quarterback, say, you're stuck with Jameis and you go 6-11, right? Dude, Joe Shane's out the window. He's gone. So you kind of have to take
I
risks
mean,
in this
I,
league.
So
I
you're
I
saying
mean,
we should trade Andrew Thomas for the 11th or 12th pick?
I feel like it would be not say anyone, but Andrew Thomas, I think besides Dexter Lawrence, he's, probably one of our
uh,
most valuable players. I feel like if like that should be a real option for this Giants team because
nope.
We
dude,
could have used a
No,
Duffy,
ceiling.
I
no,
understand
no,
he's one of the best
no,
tackles in the league, but
no.
like
That's not
where
that's
where
not
have
my
we
only
gotten with Andrew
point.
Thomas?
That is not my only
I'd rather
point.
trade like Kayvon than Andrew Thomas.
Uh,
That
yes,
that's
but
debatable.
that's not my only point, Zarius and Joseph. My point is, if the Giants draft a quarterback, you know what young quarterbacks need? They need a good offensive line. Now, unless you're Jaden Daniels, that is, but you need a good offensive line. The Giants, if they get rid of Andrew Thomas, then that goes like down to bottom five in the NFL. With Andrew Thomas healthy, they're probably top five
They were
offensive
the
line.
sixth highest rated offensive line
Thank
when
you.
everyone was healthy. When
Yep.
Andrew Thomas went down, they were so bad.
Like
Yep.
say we
They
trade for
they Andrew
9,
Thomas
right?
is that valuable.
He is. Say we trade for 9, right? Because I know the Saints, they've been eyeing Jackson Dart. At least that's what I've heard. But I feel like that's a move we should be making. Because look, like say we somehow get 9 and we still have 3. We don't need to take Cam Ward or Shedeur at 3. We can take someone like Abdul
I'm tr
Carter or Mason
Yeah.
Graham. That
I
might be a
mean,
reach. But
I'm
yeah,
trying to
at 9 we still end up with Jackson Dart. I feel like that's such a win-win for this Giants team.
I'm trying to find it. I saw something that it was saying how one of the worst like uh trade ideas, and it was, I think, us getting Brock Purdy
Oh
and
yeah, I saw that. We're
yeah.
trading three first rounders
Three
to get
first for
Purdy
Brock
in a
Purdy.
first.
I mean, here's here
Turning a
no,
seventh into three firsts.
this is my thought process on seeing that. We don't give up those first round picks, but we give up maybe a second and third and get him for that or something like that. That I wouldn't be mad at, but if we're giving up picks in this year's draft, hell no.
Well, that's
Nope, that's a
risky.
no can do.
It's pretty risky, yeah.
I think we've definitely improved our roster from
Yeah,
last year, and
yeah,
and we don't have to go like from a bad team to a contender overnight. Like it's a
yeah,
process, and we've definitely um improved our defense, and everyone's young, and if we
yeah,
can capitalize on getting a quarterback, we can be set for the future.
yeah,
And that's why I kind of gave it like a B plus and A minus.
yeah,
And just the depth signings, the young secondary
yeah,
signings, Jameis
yeah,
Winston, probably the best option out of him, Russ and A-Rod.
yeah,
I think Sheen did a really good job.
yeah.
We were just impatient, that's all.
Right.
I mean, who isn't? This is New York.
Yeah.
Whenever there's
Same here.
somebody on the market, we're always like, just go out and grab him. It's not that hard, but at the same time, this is a business, and sometimes you have to make business decisions, and it's hard to do that. So,
I'm excited for the draft
yeah,
in a month. We're gonna
yeah.
be streaming it.
Yeah,
Oh
this
yeah.
yeah, tune
Stream
in
is
for
coming
that.
to you guys
I'm so
at
excited for
least
that, bro.
at least the first round of the NFL draft. At least the first round of the NFL draft, if not all rounds, but can't guarantee that. But for now, this is the No Stop Podcast signing off. I'm Chris Duffy with these two guys. And we'll see you next time, which will be either this Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah.
Reactions to the
March
first
Madness opening day.
opening day, March
Gonna be a
Madness.
banger.
Not just opening day though, the first whole series of the Yankees against the Brewers. Carlos Rodon is starting the first game, but at pitching, and we'll also break down some of the moves the Yankees have made because there has been a lot. But that is next time, and we'll see you then. Peace.